Alright, so as you can see, we're back here with our second episode of the SSF Paladin on P99 Blue. I've had a lot of issues with P99 Blue lately where I crash when trying to get past character select. It actually took me like a full 40 minutes to get actually logged in for this, so a lot of troubleshooting still needs to be done. I think a big part of it is actually the UI. It really doesn't like that I'm using this UI. If I switched to Velius UI, it'd be like a lot easier. So for right now, we are level 4, about halfway through. A big chunk of our EXP is coming from the Bone Chip quest still, so that's like our moneymaker right now. For every turn in, I get about 10% EXP. In comparison, killing skeletons, it's like 4 for 1%, so big difference there. Hey, what's going on, Bootly? Thanks for coming back by. Some of today's goals, I'll be trying to get to level 6 at the very least, and then I want to go all the way to Akanon so I can start the Bull Smasher quest. We'll see how that goes. I'm gonna end up having to use my lay on hands on this thing unless it runs like right now. So close. Oh, actually, my LOH is down. Uh-oh. Well, it's time to fight. Just hope we make it. Oh, that's not gonna work for sure. Guys are so close. We're gonna have to start fresh. Yep. So, something I just learned is that while you are logged off, your cooldowns do not tick. Which is all to say that my lay on hands was not up when I logged in. Really strange, because I haven't logged in like 2 days. So we'll remake this character. Really not a lot lost. 4 levels, not a big deal. And over the weekend, I'll probably be able to make up any time lost just off stream. And there's that classic P99 crash. So we'll see how much of a pain it is to try to log back in. Dude, for real. So Maze, I was just saying a little bit earlier that it took me like 40 minutes to get logged into P99 for this last session. I crash from character select very frequently, or upon my first zone, I crash. I'm not sure what the deal is. Yeah, it's a big pain. By the way, how's it going, Zythan? I really didn't have this kind of problem when I played on green. It was mostly like on green, if I was camping out to character select and trying to log back in from there, I would crash one time, and that was about it. Honestly, I mean, as much as I want to do it on P99, I might not be able to do this run on P99 just because I can't actually play the game reliably. And with us having like a reduced stream schedule, I don't want to spend like half of each stream attempting to log in to be able to play the game. Let's try something really quick. So I'm crashing whenever I zone or whenever I attempt to log in through the character select. Zoning is a little bit less frequent, but it's basically 100% of the time my first login attempt is a crash, and then like today I crashed like 6 or 7 times before I was able to log in. But once I'm in a zone, if I don't have to hit any kind of zone lines, I'm usually pretty stable. This is the worst part, waiting for my character to be logged out, like 5 minutes. See, part of me thinks it's the UI element that's causing the crash. Don't worry, we still have to zone. It's gonna run it back at that zone line. Yeah, new Paladin for now. I mean, this is like our third Paladin in 3 hours of streaming. The first one died to something random, I don't know. The second one died just a few minutes ago. Here comes the crash. Get ready. The second one died because I didn't realize I didn't have lay on hands. Like I hadn't logged in a few days, so I assumed mistakenly that lay on hands would be up, but that doesn't happen. But yeah, I mean, I guess if this doesn't work, we'll go to Air Dune. It's really all you can do. Right? It's that phase 2. The music changes. I could probably just sit there and play strictly with the Velius UI, and that might work. But the Stone UI is actually the reason that I was like, oh, if I can use the Stone UI on P99, that would be really awesome, and I'd play that way. So it's definitely a bummer if I have to go back to not using that. Yeah, it really does look great. I'm a big fan of it. All right, another attempt. I'm just gonna keep the Velius UI up for right now. Yeah, I was gonna be doing Bloodforge, Bull Smasher, the Strength rings, and the AC earrings from Crushbone. So a lot of really awesome options over here. I do still want to go to Kanos and do like, I mean, I guess there's really not a lot I would need from Kanos. I want to get the Bone Thunder Staff. What am I doing? Just because it would be awesome to have Bone Thunder Staff that does something worthwhile. There we go. Now we are an accepted member of the guild. They really do have an awesome jump animation. I wonder why only they have a unique jump. Scare Bomber has some negative stats, right? I don't remember the stats exactly offhand because I've never really played a shorty. Dude, look at that. Looks so good. Oh, negative charisma. Not really a big deal. Not a big deal during the levels where I will use it. All right, will we crash? We made it, excellent. Well, what I could do, something really dumb I can do, is that I can go to Stone UI, and then when I'm about to zone, we switch back to like a functional UI. Yeah, and like another thing is I'm just gonna spend like a huge amount of time in Butcher Block Mountains right in this area in a second, so. The worst part about that death is I was so close to being able to afford a Warhammer. I had like 5 plat. Warhammer 6 plat, 2 gold. Alright, let's check this out. Alright, looks good. Now I get to enjoy my, oh, look at that, a torch right out of the gate. Provided this guy doesn't actually, like, kill me. You know what sucks about the UI as I currently have it? My cursor is just like the standard Windows cursor. I want to get that, that nice dark, like, Everquest cursor that we used to have. I should have fought some things to get some skill ups first. I'm gonna blow this torch. Ooh, maybe I'll have it. Beautiful. I should just go crazy right now. Like, we're level 1. The cost of starting over is basically 0. I should go to, like, do the Deepwater Harpoon right now. Yeah, early on, these skill ups are, like, pretty painful. They're slow. Looks like I got 1 slashing skill up. My offense and defense, I think, are 0. So I really take a beating. Since heading starts at 50 as a dwarf, as you can see, it's like still not the greatest. Oh, what am I doing? Look at this. Please no. I popped LOH just because I didn't want to crash. There's my defense. Now at 1. Offense now at 1. Great. Before I get my offense to 1, I'm like only occasionally hitting things on accident. It's so bad. That fight had no business being that close. If that guy drops 2 bone chips, it's like half a level right now. It's ridiculous. See, the weird thing is 3 days ago I played with Stone UI on, and I was zoning all over the place, and I didn't have any crashes at all. So I don't know what changed. Like, the only thing I've done since then is power my computer on. Yeah, I don't know any streamer that did that, Remedy. I know a streamer who did Warrior 1 to, I want to say like 43, 44 on P99, but he wasn't hardcore. Was it Echolocation? His name was, I have it in my thing, yeah, Echolocation 8. I give him credit in my SSF explanation as my original inspiration for this run. I really, really enjoyed his run. I was sad to see that he just kind of, you know, I think he just got bored with it. Up in the upper levels as a warrior, there was just not enough for him to kill reliably to get any meaningful amount of EXP, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I remember watching his. I think his might even be like, you know, it's not really mathematically impossible, but it's like pretty close to impossible now because they nerfed the bind wound thing he was doing. Yeah. Yeah, I found out on my last stream that the bind wound thing got nerfed. Like, I came to P99 being like, well, it's going to be harder, but at least I can bind during combat. And someone was like, no, they fixed that. I'm like, oh, no. I waited too long. I should have done it 3 months ago. Yeah, they patched bind wound while fighting. Isn't that crazy? That's not classic. Put it back. They basically patched out infravision. Look at this. This is an infravision race with a torch. Like, I come from a race of... Oh god, this is a death if I don't strafe out of here. I also feel like strafe running is not as effective as it should be. It might just be because like P99 mobs don't run the same way that real EQ mobs run. But yeah, I mean, I'm playing a race that lives in the mountains, totally inside, always underground. They worship the god of the underground. Why would I not be able to see in total darkness? I keep using taunt just because like it's like so boring to not have anything to press until level 6 when I get bash. Yeah, Brel was a trickster, man. He got like a, you know, he had a bunch of like relatively duplicitous packs with all the different gods. Man, this could be partly RNG, but I mean, like, look at the difference a few skill ups makes. Yeah, the nighttime is really tough, dude. What'd you do, Bootly? What class? Hey, Remedy, thanks for the follow. Yeah, Barbarian, Human, Erudite are all really, really tough. Luckily, like, most Erudite classes get some kind of magical light source pretty quickly, like Cold Light. Shanner, okay. How are you liking it so far? I really loved playing on green. It felt so good after like years and years of TLP. The decaying dwarf skeletons really don't drop a lot of bone chips. I feel like the standard decaying skeletons, especially the ones in like the Kanos area, drop a lot more. Oh, ding, level 2. Look at that, we're already rolling. Yeah, Aridune, yeah, I can see why it would have that effect. Remedy, was it like the player base, or was it like the server issues? That's a good point, Zyathan. There are less bones to chip from a purely like mass standpoint. All right, I know I saw a skeleton out here a second ago. Immediately better. That 1 ratio improvement. Yeah. Dude, there's a if you look at my YouTube, or I think it's even in like my highlights on the Twitch channel, you could see where we did 1 through 50 in like 1 24-hour stream on Airdoom. I see. Yeah, I feel like the every server, fewer and fewer casual players remain, and there are more and more people who have either been hardened by the TLP mindset, or they're players who are like the same dudes who are recycled through the top guilds over and over again. And what just means like the player base as a whole, the culture of TLP becomes worse and worse, if that makes sense. There's like less friendliness there. And since the TLPs roll out so fast, the cliques never break up over time. Like, there are very well-defined cliques and guilds. Guilds almost like don't even have to recruit when a server is launching anymore. You're just like, okay, new TLP is coming out. Let me check with my guild from the last TLP. Okay, of course, they're playing on this one. We'll just repeat the process. Right, yeah. Yeah, everybody knows everybody. I mean, like, the reputation thing is cool, but, like, reputation in many ways also doesn't matter. Like, your behavior just doesn't really catch up with you. It's very much a might makes right mindset on TLP. Even the players known for being, like, the worst members of the community can effectively start and lead successful guilds, which is crazy. You would think that people would be like, no, I don't want to associate myself with player X or, you know, player Y or Z. Maybe it's how it was originally, and I just wasn't as hooked into it, you know what I mean? Because, like, I read EQ forums, but I didn't read my, like, local server forums. And I feel like, you know, original EQ, obviously you had a lot of new players coming in every day, so there was a lot of, like, really fresh blood. But I'd say there is still space, you know, if you wanted to intentionally develop a reputation, even like a positive reputation, I think you could on the TLP community. But it doesn't change the fact that there's going to be a lot of people in the community that are just kind of like, I don't know, not people you want to associate with. Like when I played on P99 Green, admittedly there were a lot of idiots I ran into, but like that's just humanity, right? But the fact that you knew if there was some kind of camp dispute, you could petition and a GM would actually show up and they would one way or another resolve things meant that most issues either just never happened or like they were quickly resolved. Like there was never a period of time where like someone came and sat in the middle of my camp and I was worried that they were going to steal my name when it finally spawned on P99. Let me just run this guy to the guards so I don't have to deal with him. Oh, okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, that's another thing. Like, when you join a guild, it's almost like you're, even if it's like you join a guild day one of the server, you're basically still joining a guild that has like multiple years of history, and you're like not on the same even footing as like player XYZ within that guild who played with them like on the last 3 TLP servers. TLP servers have a lot of like super guilds, I guess you could call them. You know, they're just like basically small Everquest gaming communities unto themselves now. And those are like, you know, guilds like MIM is a perfect example, and I love MIM, but they've played on a ton of EQ servers and they play other games. And like, if you joined MIM, Magus Imperialist Magicus, on day one of any particular TLP, you're still like the new guy. And there's like 40 other dudes who have been in the guild for like between 1 and 20 years more than you. You know what I mean? That are like more senior. But on the plus side, having Agents of Change means at least you're going to be able to see all the content that you want to see. Except for Sleeper's Tomb. I sort of expect they'll patch Sleeper's Tomb eventually. So that it'll be like, when you go to the Agent of Change for Sleeper's Tomb, you just pick which one you want. It's one of the last things that are still hanging around for people to fight over. That's crazy. Are you willing to say what guild it is? I understand if you don't want to like call a guild out. Yeah, dude. Any more the sleeper drama starts like pre-launch. Like you can always pretty much project who your top guild is going to be before launch. People are like, all right, how soon is guild X that doesn't technically exist yet gonna wake the sleeper? No Plane of Hate gear? That's crazy. It drops so fast. What you need to do is form a little squad. You need to form like Team Remedy, and you guys join a guild together. Get like 5 dudes that are pals with you. Join as a group. That's nuts. Recruit status lasts 3 months. Yeah, that's really weird. I feel like 2 weeks is about normal for recruit status anymore. Rampage. Yeah, I mean, I don't know anything about that guild, how they run it or anything. I think belt must be like the most common drop from these decaying skeletons in terms of cloth armor. Yeah, there's an agent of change for Plane of Hate. There's also like pick zones, so if there's a lot of people in there, a whole new zone of it will spawn. There's a lot of opportunity. That's what I'm saying. Like, you need a group. You can't. For most people, you're not able to go in by yourself solo and farm like planar gear. Now, some people definitely can, depending on class or if you box or whatnot. But you need to find like just a group of buddies that you can play with regardless of guild status. Because with 6 people, you can go in and rock a huge amount of that plane gear. Yeah, I could see that. For a long time, I played on the Japanese like time zone. It was definitely a lot harder. But on the plus side, things were a little bit less contested. Like in my time zones, when I was in prime time, the only people contesting things were like real farmers. Oh, nice, dude. Yeah, I lived in Yokosuka for 3.5 years. Let me loot this. Oh yeah, shoulders. There we go. Yeah, Remedy, I am Navy. Congrats on leaving the Marines. I assume you like the civilian life much better. Anytime you get a torch off of these guys after the first torch is like a critical fail. If they drop an axe, it's like silver. If they drop a club, it's like gold. If they drop that torch, it's 8 copper. Okay. So you want to be in Okinawa then, right? You elect to stay in Okinawa? Are you like a retired Marine? I feel like most of the guys I know who go from the service to the civilian side and stick with like the deers kind of jobs are usually like senior enlisted guys who got out at 20 years. Okay, that makes sense. A goblin whelp pierces me. All right. I'll take that rusty dagger. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. E5 at 4 years is pretty good for the Marines, though. Seems like you were moving up fast. A lot of skeletons. Dang, that social range is big. Need to get out of this goblin path. I don't want 3. Let's see. Man, my defense is still terrible. Offense is getting there. We got a ways to go. I should be able to max out my defense and maybe one-hand slashing before we hit 3. As long as I don't turn in these bone chips to level up. Yeah, I'm still in. I've been in for about 8 years now. I joined, actually, I was like leading an Everquest guild when I joined. That was around the time of Vulak, if you remember that old TLP server. Yeah, it's a danger zone over here. Those crags. I'll keep my station private for now. I used to be stationed in Japan. I don't mind telling people, like one-on-one, but not trying to reveal it on Twitch. At least that much is probably true, Swoosh. I should swing by the docks and sell. Oh, that's nice. It's probably been weird in 2020 with COVID and everything, trying to do travel. I think it's going to be a lot slower fog lock. Some of the advantages I was counting on are not in, like the binding while fighting thing. There's also the fact that I seem to crash very frequently when zoning and stuff. We think we have it down to being the fault of this UI, but still. I also died twice before level 5, so overall it looks to be a more fulfilling and challenging experience than the TLP was. Froglock, you are foaming, right? Yeah, dude, they did. It sucks. Oh, no way, not at level 2. I don't even think I would survive 2 Crush Bone right now. My plan is to get level 6, then go to Akanon and work on the Bull Smasher, then come back, get my Bloodforge armor. Then I might do Crushbone, or I might go to North Kanos. Yeah, I know, man. Trust me, I already missed everything about Kanos. It's so much easier. Look, I don't have like this random goblin that's a red con walking through my safe space. Is there something to do about the greedy beggar? I feel like I'm being led astray right now. Ready for that big faction hit. All right. Well, I got him. Yeah, I get it like an error log in my file system here that I could probably check out and maybe use it to figure out exactly what part of the UI is crashing us. I might be able to remove some elements and make it work, because it attempts to call in a bunch of UI pieces that P99 doesn't allow, like extended target window kind of stuff. I could probably just remove those from the file package, and it might increase the stability a bit. Yeah, Virginia Beach sounds terrible, from what I've heard. Ah, free pet. Whoops. Well, I blew that one. He's like, what is that guy? Conan Mates? The dude who you save in North Kanos? So since our last stream, I acquired the Everquest Online Adventures beta disc. Might show that before I bounce later. Oh, this guy's yellow to me. I might still be able to do this. Oh, okay. My lay on hands was fake. Oh, yeah. Peter, I don't think so. I think it's toast. We'll be playing Pantheon long before we play EQ Classic. I choose to believe. Wenzel, thank you so much for the follow. Hope you enjoy the very slow-paced content. I have it on good authority that Pantheon's going to rock. Ender, this is P99. Dude, that's a nice emote. Of course Bobby would have that emote. I was thinking about, like, totally off the schedule for this, just randomly one day streaming Lords of Everquest, because I recently got that a couple months ago. That's the Everquest RTS. It's like, you know, like Warcraft style. I started playing EQ in 1999. Then I never grew up. Seems like fighting anything but skeletons is kind of a waste right now. They're the only thing that I can kill that drops armor, potentially. Bone chips are obviously great. All the goblins drop is food and beer. How is Rizlona Froglock? How many accounts do you run now? Accounts. How many of them are clerics? Do you think it would be hard for you to go back to like a normal EQ server where you play like 1 or 2 characters? I mean, I know you played 6 even on Agnar, right? Do you think you could go back to just playing 1 EverQuest character? Hmm. 4 clerics, 2 bards. Okay, so you have a bard in each group. You have all the CC you need. You have a teleporter / decent damage. And you have 2 DPSs. You do not have... I guess you have Celos. So what do you do with 2 groups that you can't do with 1? Are you like... At 60, I guess you could probably kill the dragons, right? In AOCs. Necromantic box, that is. Maybe you could do Gale. Finny, of course. I'm sure you were able to kill Finny during Classic by yourself. I would guess that you can't kill CT or any. And maybe not Draco. But maybe Draco. I'm actually really curious now as to what exactly you've been able to do by yourself with the 2 group there. Even dual wield Nagfin with Cloak of Flames. Have you been able to do any of the outdoor dragons in Kunark by yourself, like Sev? I assume that Gornair is like not even in question here, but Sev, Fededar, maybe Talendor? Yeah, but the thing is, like, on Rizlona, is there anyone to sell epic loot rights to? Yeah, Draco's like, I guess without focus effects, it's kind of just like, why? Throw a belt on your bard for no reason. You gotta do it just for the challenge, though. I don't even know. I'm not hip to the current exploits, so I don't know what exploit you might be using for any. Okay, so you haven't even attempted a lot of stuff because you need to retain your cooldowns for the guild. What a good guy. Now that I have my camera on, you guys can see that I move like every 10 seconds, maybe less. Maybe less space between them than that. $33K. Yeah, but I assume like there's someone just dumping plat into the Rizlona economy 24/7 through the hill giants being like automated farmed, right? What's your guild called? Is there a Batphone guild on Rizlona? That's kind of gross. Ooh, look at that axe. Yes, please. Oh, this is not good. Shatter Souls. It's kind of cool. You guys are low-key, I'm sure, because I haven't heard about you. So most of the Rizlona guilds are like pretty low-key, though, I think. So are you guys gonna have like low tier targets in Velius that you're able to try yourself, like Kellerekdar kind of stuff? Or are you guys gonna keep all the cooldowns? Jeez, that's not what I want. Come on, one more hit. You want to hear less EQ background noise, Silent Wrath? I just turn my EQ background noise volume down. Oh. I actually can't make the game source bigger because the UI only functions at this exact size. That's why I put the EQ background there, so that it wasn't just like my normal desktop background. This is part of the full immersion of the classic EQ. No, I mean, Like what you are seeing is my second monitor desktop. And this is as big as the EQ window will get and still fit. So what content did you clear that other guilds didn't? Was it Gornair? I feel like I recognize this name, Dufro. I can't believe there's actually like 54 people watching me basically do nothing on P99 right now. You guys are crazy. I I encourage you to keep calling yourself the #1 guild. Feel me? Though I'm not saying I would necessarily agree, but I like that you're doing it. See, the hardcore deaths aren't as fulfilling until we're like 20 plus levels in, you know what I mean? Like it's gonna be a real good one when this guy's like got a surname and some sick gear and I die to something stupid. Like we crash zoning into Unrest and there's a fat train at that same time and I just log back in Paladin. I think there's a chat command here. !RIP, which will show you my previous Paladin's last moments at like level 42. Yeah, EQ addiction is definitely a sickness. By the way, Aslan, it's awesome to see you. So P99 doesn't work with game capture. Like if I try to capture EverQuest as just the P99 game, it won't work with OBS. At least I haven't found a way to make it work. When I stream like TLP servers, I just capture the EQ window, and then I know what you're talking about. Like it'd be a lot better. P99 for some reason just shows up as like a black box when I try that. So we get stuck a little bit. Oh yes, give me this mace. So right now I'm just capturing monitor second screen. Right, yeah, they changed the DT mechanics. Isn't it different for both CT and INI? It's not really the Kazakh touch anymore. But also, I thought they patched the clicky shenanigans that were going on. What do I want to do here? I can go sell this stuff right now. And then go back and buy some bags. I mean, I guess I could just do it over here. All right, everyone, get ready for your immersion to die. Okay, so you just they made it not normally work, but because of the sheer number of clicks you can do, you're able to make it work. I can see that. Silent Wrath, for some reason, I will crash if I zone or log into the game world with the stone UI equipped. Nobody pick up this sword. This is my sword. Oof. This silver hurts my feelings. I really need to buy a container of some sort. Not here. Oh man, I'm missing a lot of chat. Sorry about that, guys. Let me catch up. Yes, this is P99. It is gross, but it still feels nice. Hey, Leafy Greens. Yep, we're trying it again. We'll see. I choose to believe that we'll make it there one day. Someone has to, right? Maybe we won't make it, but we'll inspire the sick individual who will make it. Tempted to buy this small wooden shield. Oof. 9 AC. 9 platinum. I don't have that though. I'm so close to being able to afford that. Okay. You could buff someone with a rune and get 0 aggro right now? That's weird. Probably trivializes some content. Nah, Silent. I think Rogue would be the hardest. Yeah, like Magic said. It actually comes up a lot. I'm pretty sure Rogue would be the hardest by like a pretty wide margin. We made it. Praise Nilbog. Huh, that's crazy. It sucks to see them close the loop on those things, but they reach a certain level of abuse. Like there are elements of that we knew about, you know, 5, 10, even like, you know, like 20 years ago, people knew about some of that stuff. But then when it is abused to a certain extent, it just gets, you know, it's going to be fixed. I'm going to suck for a little bit because I'm leveling up my one-hand blunt now. It's like everyone knew the mage thing was super OP 6 years ago on the TLP servers. Everyone knew how bad it was, but it wasn't getting fixed. Nothing was being done about it until we killed the dragons with a bunch of level 30 characters. Then it's like, okay, now we got to change some things. And until we were able to just show that you could basically just pet wall every dragon with no risk with like 5 people. And people had done that before, right? They did it like once for the server first kind of thing. But it's totally different when you had a guild like we did on Lockjaw that was the only way they ever killed raid mobs constantly throughout all of Classic was mage walls. And that's like a huge reason why Mitigation of the Mighty and Mark of the Old Ways got implemented, if not the singular reason. As a monk main, I really wish they would fix monks. More than anything, I want to see the monk hand-to-hand damage get nerfed. Because there's so many awesome monk weapons that you don't get to use. And it's one of the things you think about when you think about a monk. Like, you imagine a monk having like a staff or the club, especially in Kunark, where there's a lot of really neat weapons like the T-staff. They're just like, no reason to use them. No reason to ever equip like knuckle dusters, stave of shielding, etc. Adamantite club. Hey, Gubby, go find your own skeletons. These are mine. What I'll do here is I'll get level 3 and then I'll go turn in all my chips, which will give us a ton of plat too. Not a ton. Relatively speaking, it'll give us a ton of plat. Fix my UI just a little bit. I give up. Yeah, Trent Fist, right? So the class might be better, but it's less fun. As a player, right, who's playing a video game, my primary goal is to have fun. And I think it's more fun to fully experience your class than it is to top a parse. Especially, oh my god, what am I doing? Especially in EQ Classic, where like parse just doesn't matter at all. Seeing behind the curtains with this UI right now. It's just hobbled together. Yeah, this is blue. I do need to buy bags, yeah. I'm glad that they're fixing Necromancer, boosting them up a little bit. It's a really cool class conceptually, and you know, for a long time it was really overpowered, but not really so much in the TLP eras. What weapons do your monks have, Foaming? You just rock an Epic and Bare Fist? Or do you have Epic and Wu's main hand? Well, you know, it's a seesaw. It doesn't surprise me. Sir, I don't know why you're telling me your Epic plus what's on your back. I'm asking what's in your primary hand. So you're going with the Bare Fist. I think, could be totally wrong here, I guess, but I think that Wu's is better when you're fighting things with MOTM. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Fair. You gotta just tell the guild, hey, like, one of these days on a Saturday, we're going up to Planet Sky. We're gonna be up there for 24 hours, and everyone's just gonna deal with it because my monks need these Wus. Yo, Pope, what's going on, dude? Long time no see. You know, Tevinter, I love Tev, but he always claimed that Wu's was better in both hands. And he had, you know, he had some parses to back up that claim. It wasn't totally baseless. But I think the difference is so small either way that it's within the margin of error, you know what I mean? Like, I think Tevinter would often win DPS races over other monks without the double woos for reasons that were not his offhand status. You could still island pull. Shoulders, womp womp. Will you get a primal, or will you get the, you know, the fake primal? The same in every way but name. Yeah. Yeah, you'll definitely be able to kill Zlandikar. If your guild is smart, you guys will never put Zlandikar on like the guild list just so people can farm it themselves. Yeah, Prismatic, there we go. Thanks, Leafy. Tev is a great player. I don't know how much being good matters for monk DPS though. You're only pressing 2 buttons. You think that's gonna happen for sure? Yeah, you know, there's like a lot of people who are just like, they're watching Netflix or playing their mobile game while some guys are like punching the dragon. You gotta be a dragon puncher, not a Netflix watcher. I mean, like, the biggest things are like managing your buffs, having all the right buffs to ensure your attack is maxed, gear to whatever extent you can control. Obviously, your combat skills all need to be maxed out, which a lot of people surprisingly aren't, like especially your defense and stuff. And then after that, if you're in a raid, right, and your strength is maxed with buffs, which it should be pretty handily, then it's like you either pump HP or you pump resists. Because your goal should be able to be like I'm just thinking of like DPS racing on Nagafen, right? And not even like a contested race against other guilds, but DPS racing with your own guild, just trying to be the best monk in your team, top the parse kind of deal. You want to be able to have the maximum possible uptime on Nagafen, right? Which means you either just have a pocket healer who's like, yeah, I'm gonna hook my guy up and make sure that he is healed all the time. So you just stand in the AEs. Or more likely, because your guild will be like splitting hard, right? So you don't have the healers to spare for that. You have a ton of resist, ding, so that you can stay in a little bit more reliably. And monks are pretty good about that. Between, like, we have a lot of resist options, like Tampos, shoulders and stuff from Sky. And we have Mend, so we kind of have like that pocket heal. Yeah, dude, I can't believe that a boxer woke it on Mangler. Totally wild. Mend is awesome. It really just sucks that there's like no community recourse. I like the like really old style MMOs where you could like PK someone. It would turn your PK flag on too. But like you could just go PK someone. I don't know if you guys have ever played games like that. I played this really terrible MMO back in the day called 12 Sky, and you could just go up to someone who was on your team, right? And you could player kill them. Oh, almost fell for it. Almost zoned. And if you did that, your name turned red for a certain amount of time, like 2 days or something, right? And during that time, people could kill you with impunity. It was like a bounty put on you. And then those people who killed you, they didn't get red names. So it'd be really good to have something like that, so you could basically kind of like within the scope of the rules grief people who are bad community members. Yeah, Ultima Online, of course, is like the example, right, for that. I really like that system. I should look at the ratio on this before I sell it. 428. Ooh. Am I reading this correct? All right. Goodbye, Flail. Hello, club. I've got to go like 2 full zone lengths to get back to my guild master. I think one of these guys sells bags or boxes. You know what, they don't, because I checked all these. Oh, here's a backpack. Just one is good for now. So yeah, I don't know if I'll ever be able to play out like I used to on TLP servers again. We'll see. I would love to if the rule set is right. But it just takes a lot of time. Arms, nice, very nice. No duplicate slots yet, that's pretty good. Bummer. Yeah, I think 12 will be good for goats, but in the beginning, yeah, in the beginning you're going to need 12 for goats, but by the end of gates, you might be able to 6-man them. Especially now that they have all the vet AAs unlocked for everybody, so you'll be able to pop like intensity and all that shit. All right, here's our last one. We basically just skipped level 3. We literally just skipped level 3. 2 gold, I'll take that. Looks like we have like 3 platinum-ish. 632. 428. This will probably just be good, long enough to get us the Bull Smasher. Probably won't have to invest that 6 plat. Buy a second backpack. I'm glad I got a good club though for now, because I just want to get my skill ups in before I get the Bull Smasher, so I don't start basically from 0 when I get it. I think red 5 is level 4 to 6. I could potentially go there now, but it's questionable. I hate to run all the way there and just not be able to do it. But I mean, I could probably just level up there. However, I won't be able to skill up Bash to actually use. We want to go back here and check on shields. Village, I have to switch when I'm zoning, and since I'm like in a town, I just popped it off for this, because otherwise I'll crash. And I know, you know, I'm just running through a few zones really fast, so it's easier to just keep it off. We're about to hit Butcher Block, and then I'll go back to the good old stone UI. I played for like 20 minutes between this session and last session. Last session was Monday at 5 p.m. I played for 90 minutes that time on stream. Yeah, then I played like 20, 30 minutes between that, and now here I am again. So very, very infrequently right now. I was trying to grind a little bit between the sessions, but my daughter started crying, so I like had to basically just stop. But my wife is generous and takes care of things solo twice a week while I do this. These guys are basically like no threat at all now at level 4. Let's fix this. Perfect. Yeah, that's how it feels, Magic. I think the old hardcore days might be done for like 16 years, and then I'll be back. It's 2020 right now, so look for me like 2035. I'll be on that TLP. I'll lead a Faceless Guild again. Probably still quit in 3 months. Of course, I sold my torch and walked out, and it's immediately nighttime. I'm telling you, man, you have to plan for the future. Look for the comeback, okay? 2035, we're going to do it. You guys should all be there. Something to live for. How many of you think that EQ and the official capacity will be gone by 2035? Like there will not be an officially licensed EQ server that you can log into and play? I think they'll bring back old school Freeport within the next 6 years if they continue to exist. I do need to get that shiny breast shield. I need to be like level 10 before I can fight him, I think. You think they'll be gone by 2030? I mean, 10 years, pretty good chance, I suppose. Like, I'm not counting on Dark Paw Studios or Daybreak or any of those old companies existing, but they're always going to try to sell off the EQ, you know, name before they die. So it's like, will there be some shitty company that's willing to host this 20-year-old MMO for us? Honestly, TLP represents about half of their player base and half of their revenue stream now. So I think we're at the point where there's a pretty good justification for them to make a TLP specific client. So you're no longer logging into like the normal server select screen, right? And that would afford them the opportunity to do a lot of those things. Like you wouldn't have to worry about the changes affecting live and vice versa. So we could really pursue a much more classic, or at least a much more balanced early game TLP style server. Of course, if you're using the old patch or like a new client, then at the same time, do the TLP servers actually intend to reach live, or are you just gonna kind of accept that they're gonna stop after like the first 6 expansions? Yeah, that's true. Without Prathin and a few of the other guys, I mean, I don't know what we're going to be looking at for new live expansions in EQ. And even though I don't think live is like super great, I think it's still important for the overall game that there is, quote, new content being released. You know what I mean? Chat, let me know if I'm going the wrong way. I'm trying to head towards Greater Fate Arc right now. I think this is the right way. Yo, this guy is zooming. Dude, why is he so fast? We might be toast. I feel like that goblin had Spirit of Wolf. I think there's goblin shamans out there and stuff, so there's a chance that he actually did. Because strafe running was not getting me any distance on him at all. I'm telling you, if they made like a TLP like remastered, where they started in classic and they remastered every expansion and added new relevant content or the unfinished content, they could launch that like a brand new EQ and redo it, and it would be like really a minor amount of development work compared to a whole new expansion, and everyone would play it. It would be insanely popular. I guess the problem is that they could also just release a pile of shit every year and we all still play that. So why put in any effort if we'll play garbage? You can't be a halfling paladin on P99 blue, can you? If this dwarf dies, we might return to ye old North Kanos human. Like one more Spirit Wolf Goblin, and I'm toast. I had to burn Lay on Hands. Just need to make it to the next set of torches. Okay. Halfling Paladin is sick. I mean, it looks dumb, but it's really good. Like, really, like, how much worse could human vision actually be right now than what I'm currently experiencing? If I'm not staring at this road, you can't see what the hell's going on. Alright, I think this is G Fey. And not Dagnors. I'm lost because, like, staring at all this brown, I can't make out the terrain differences. There we go. Have to stare at the sky. It does feel like I have no infravision. Also, we forgot to change our UI before we zoned. You know what that means. RIP. So just go into my INI file, change my default UI to the Velius UI. We should be able to log back in without any issues once our character is kicked out. There we go. Oh, in windowed mode, you don't get the vision bonus. So I do have human vision right now. Windowed gamma settings have always been kind of weird, so it makes sense. So I remember I tried to stream P99 in like full screen a long time ago. I say a long time, but I mean like, 6 months ago. We tried doing P99 in full screen one time, and there was a big issue where like my push to talk and everything didn't work with OBS. You basically can't even tell like until the thunder goes out, you can't even tell like which direction I just came from. I'm like 3 feet away from a zone line and you don't even know it. Hey, Lionsden. Yes, the UI is very nice. We're enjoying it when it doesn't crash us. If I go to full screen, there's like a 50-50 that I just crashed to. Do you have multiple monitors? Hey, thanks for the follow, Lazy Lionsden. Yeah, I could probably use WinEQ. I've never messed with WinEQ though, so I've heard it, resolves a lot of those kind of technical issues. Oh yeah, the rain like makes it all worse. I feel like when I go full screen, P99 doesn't. Oh, you know what it does? I remember. So I'll go full screen, but if I use my second monitor at all, it actually like totally minimizes my P99 screen. So it's like effectively you're locked to one monitor. You have to set something in the second screen that you're not really going to be messing with. Aracon13, thanks for the follow, dude. Hope you are enjoying this content. This dynamic black screen with Zaide SSF, blue text floating in the middle. Infravision, who needs it? So can you imagine that these spires exist, right? In the universe, right? The Nexus Scion spires exist. And wizards can port there whenever they want. Wouldn't these, which are like 10 feet from Felwith and Kelethin, wouldn't you expect them to be like a fortress? Because at any moment, 1,000 Dark Elves could just like pop in. I just feel like it would be more well defended. Oh, it's not crash. Three a.m. We've got like three more hours before we can see again. That's awesome. It must have been pretty cool playing it in the beta phase. Is this like, do you regularly watch Everquest streams, or is this like one of your first times watching a stream of Everquest? This zone could actually be pretty risky for me, so I really want to hug this zone wall here. I don't think I'm going the wrong way. I think I just hug this wall and it's right around the corner here. That was Arakan. He said that he played this during beta. Zaide, you madman, dude. Thank you so much for the 10 gifted subs. Congrats to everyone who got a sub. Hopefully you enjoy your brand spanking new EverQuest related emotes. Sorry about that. My dogs were barking for a sec, so I just muted it. But yeah, thank you so much, Scythen. That's awesome. Very grateful to have you back and supporting the stream. All right. I'm not super familiar with Steamfont Mountains. I mean, like, we came here a few times with the last Paladin. But at least in the P99 context, I'm not super familiar with like how dangerous this run is going to be to me. I conned a Puma that is threateningly to me, so, you know, immediately dangerous, I guess. Yeah, I've seen those maps that people use for P99. That's the one where you basically see like a relatively like normalized update of your location on a map UI, right? It would be cool, but I'm not going to use it. Doing it strictly old school, as much as I can control. Hopefully I don't get killed here. This seems like it's already the most dangerous area I've been in, I think, on this run. Another thing I'm not positive about is I know that I've got to go through. So the mines are like all the way in the back of Akanon, and I know there's like a Necromancer guild back there. I don't know if they'll be KOS to me. I assume as a Paladin they would be, but they're like, you know, it's kind of I'll say that gnomes are like halfway civilized, right? So in theory, I shouldn't get killed. I kind of feel like left is the correct path. Okay, I referenced a map, EQAlis style, and it turns out this is the correct way. I'm just so used to going the other way because I always go to the Minotaur Caves for like the Hero Bracer and all that. Right, yeah. It's funny because like it took me a little while to get used to the idea that there, almost, that there wasn't going to be ever a corpse run on this. Like I was thinking like, oh man, it would suck to get my corpse from this area if I died here, back when I did the first Paladin. Then after a while, I was like, wait a second. I don't have to do corpse runs. Oh, that's not what I was thinking. I was thinking, because we were on Eridu, and I was like, man, doing this on P99 would be really hard, because if I died, I would have to go get my corpse, and it would take so much longer. Then I was like, oh wait, that wouldn't be a factor at all. It would be a lot longer for many other reasons. All right, we're here. Now we're not leaving the zone until we get a bull smasher, pretty much, right? Unless our turn-in guy is somewhere else. I think it's all in Akanon, though. Right. You know what I will miss, though? I'm going to miss having Origin. Like when I did the Regurgitonic quest, I ran all the way out here from Kanos, and then I just hit Origin when I was done, and like, boom, I'm back. But now I've got to actually take the run back. Yeah. So I assume on blue, because it's been out for so long and they're in Valius now, that the Ancient Cyclops is not literally permacamped. Maybe I'm wrong. Can anyone confirm or deny if in 2020 AC is permacamped on blue? That's crazy. All right, so I think I just hugged the right wall for the most part. I have to go across that bridge and get all the way to the tippy top. I might have come in the wrong way here. No, this is the bridge, right? Shantera, thank you for the follow. Mr. Jones, I am getting the Bull Smasher. Well, I'm hoping to. $6K for an MQ. Ew. Interesting. You know, I didn't consider it, but maybe I should just try to do this on the Alcabor server. The TAC-P. Dude, it's a good question, Mr. Jones. It reminds me of that shield from Upper Duck that you can always get at a pretty low level. It's got like 10 stamina or something crazy on it. It's got good stats for where you get it from the spiders. And it's not magic. You're like, wait, what? So shouldn't there be like a cave up here? Am I crazy? Yeah, the Chit and Shell Shield is not magic, and the Bull Smasher is not magic. I should get both just so I have the full non-magic stat combo. I kind of assumed that with those two items, the lack of a magic flag is an oversight that was just kind of never corrected. But for runs like this, it's a big deal. Any deadly fish in here? All right, chat. One of you guys knows where I'm supposed to be going. I kind of think that I'm going the wrong way right now. Yeah, Lion's Den, I can do quests for EXP. It's actually a really good part of great. It's a really good part of doing this on P99 because like the EXP quests, even though they're nerfed here, they're not like complete garbage like they are on TLP servers. Wow, swimming in this spot is like really buggy. The water quest in Kanos. Are we talking about the tackle box one? Or the one where you like build the bridge for the cutlass, or like the taxes one? I don't know. Tell me what the water quest is. I think I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the one where you give the bartender a note from the guard, right? And then he gives you like a little thing to turn back to the guard. Quint's quest is what it's called. I'm familiar with that one. You just train Quint to the bartender, and then you spam hail and do the turn in ultra fast between both of them. I know that little trick. Abbey of Deep Musing. I don't know a lot about EQ, but I'm a big fan of Kanos. Guard Lassen. You could stop these lights. Have I done Lassen's one? I know there's a bunch of little quests like that. There's like a muffin quest in Kanos. But unfortunately on TLP, like all of those have been pretty heavily nerfed. Yeah, you can use load skin. Interesting that it was potentially overlooked. All right, time to get out of this area. Canis is one of the best starting areas in the game. There's so much put into it. A lot of great quests. Okay, so the vendor here is dubious, which means there's like a decent chance that these guys... Oh yeah. We want to stay away from that. But I sort of think that's where I need to go. I don't really think there's any reason to go down here. Interesting. All right, so this is the Necromancer Guild. I think he's back here. Like, I think I have to go in this area. Yeah, I think I just have to deal with the threat of these guys. Oh, like there was a safer entrance. That makes sense. All right, these obsolete models are kind of where I'm trying to get to, so. Nice. One of the items I need. Hopefully the necromancers are not social to any of this stuff. Oh, well that's not good. His magical skin absorbs the blow and hits me with a damage shield. It might be all over. His damage shield is going to kill me before anything. Yep, there we go. I thought so. I feel like that NPC ran right through the wall to get me there. And because we hit a zone line via death, we have our crash. All right, it was a good learning experience though. Figured that out. So we've been at it for about 2 hours. Since we crashed and we died, we'll be starting over and stuff. I'll go ahead and call the session pretty much over here. My next one is going to be Monday, 5 p.m. Eastern. Should be good. I'm going to get myself back up to this level before then so that we don't have to watch me repeat the same thing over and over and over again. So next time we'll just pretty much be level 4 or 5-ish. We'll pick up right around that spot and we'll try this again. 5 p.m. Eastern, Monday. Be there. And thanks for coming out.